Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain DXB and today is the 14th of October 2024. Now so far as the process of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market is concerned guys, it is definitely looking good and the answer to that is pretty simple. On the 10th of October guys, the CPI numbers are out and looks like the inflation has marginally gone down, and I've been saying this over and over again guys, because of the CPI numbers going down, there is a very high possibility that the prices of Bitcoin and the cryptocurrencies will be pumping up. Now you can make an argument regarding the authenticity of the CPI numbers, but nonetheless guys, so far as the price of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market is concerned, things are definitely looking good, isn't it? Now one reason guys why I do think that the prices will be pumping up, because if you remember guys, on the 31st of October, Mt.GOX was going to go ahead and start the repayment plan, but they have gone ahead and decided to delay the repayment plan. Now look guys, if you look at demand and supply, this just means that there will be less supply of Bitcoin in the market, isn't it? And only because of that guys, the prices of Bitcoin and the global cryptocurrency market should definitely be pumping up. Now regarding the repayment plan guys, they have decided to push it back to 31st of October 2025. Definitely positive news in my opinion. Now the second news guys that I'm going to be discussing is definitely a scary news for United States of America. And there is a really interesting report which is published by IMF that actually talks about the US share of world economy and the Biden administration has fallen down the lowest and it is below the 15% mark. Definitely scary stuff in my opinion. Now what I want to do is guys, I want to look at this data in comparison with BRICS, and BRICS guys, they have decided to cut the dollar-euro transactions and it is well below 30% as well. And guys, on Thursday I tend to go live with a good friend of mine, that is Marco Shantita, and we did have a guest from Oat Foundation, and he actually talked about from a geopolitical point of view, we might be heading towards a war between NATO and BRICS. So what I want to do in today's episode guys, I want to go ahead and discuss what role will Bitcoin play keeping in mind these two reports. So let me know guys what are your thoughts regarding this. Now the next news guys unfortunately is a negative one, and this is to do with decentralized apps that are working on Binance BNB chain, and looks like the numbers are definitely not looking good, and ever since regulators are going after them, the numbers for Binance is definitely not looking good, isn't it? So I'll definitely go and touch base on the numbers regarding decentralized apps. Now the final news guys has to do with meme coins, and Dogecoin active addresses are definitely pumping up, and the Dogecoin active addresses guys, they have reached the highest level in almost 8 months, so I'll definitely go and touch base on this. Now look guys, when there are a lot of active addresses interacting, what does it actually mean so far as the token is concerned? I'll definitely go and touch base and share my thoughts and opinion on it. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode, and like we do in every Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, we will be looking at two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. Now the first one guys is definitely a massive one, and OKX, they have launched licensed crypto exchange in United Arab Emirates, and this is amid the VARA regulatory crackdown, so I'll definitely go and touch base on this news. Now the second news guys is more to do with artificial intelligence, and there is an article which is published by the official government channel, that is the Emirates News Agency, and that report actually states that there is a global trade and supply chain summit, and there was some really strong discussion with artificial intelligence. So what I'll do is guys, I'll go ahead and explore what that news is all about, and then guys what I want to do is, I want to go ahead and share my thoughts and opinion as to what role blockchain technology can play in this. So quite a lot to cover guys in today's episode. Let's kickstart with it right away.
Thank you to our sponsors for being part of the Blockchain DXB journey. Firstly, Advanced Media. Advanced Media guys is the largest distributor of professional video, photo, broadcast and cinematic equipment and accessories in the Middle East and MENA region. With over 2 decades of experience, Advanced Media is now the largest distributor in the Middle East, representing more than 100 recognizable brands, including brands such as Zeiss, DJI, Hasselblad, Red and Rode. As a matter of fact guys, the very mic that I'm recording is being sponsored by Advanced Media as well, and Advanced Media has showrooms in Saudi Arabia and services as well. Looks like they're definitely taking the Middle East by storm, and here's the beautiful thing guys, they're taking corporate social responsibility very seriously, and they're focusing on 3 P's, that is people, planet and prosperity. Now listen guys, if you do want to find out more information regarding the statement of corporate social responsibility, check out the website, that is www.amt.tv. And here's the beautiful thing guys, they also want to be a leader and set an example and reputation as a pioneer and member of the community. And in doing so guys, they also have an AMT scholarship with SAE Institute in Dubai, UAE, so definitely check it out. And also guys, Advanced Media is committed to persistently developing organizing and hosting training workshops, seminars, and community events that educate, inform, and familiarize consumers with new equipment and the latest technological advances. So listen guys, do one thing. If you do want to support this channel, go to the website, that is www.amt.tv, and follow the social media channels as well. All of the details are in the show notes below. Next. Hey guys, listen, there are 4 things that I'm really passionate about. The first one is death metal. The second one is Bitcoin. The third one is ice cold beer. You can't go wrong with ice cold beer, isn't it? And the fourth one, guys, is obstacle course racing. And today, guys, I've got something really huge to share to my audience. And guys, get ready to be part of the inaugural event of Arabian Warriors event, which is scheduled to take place in Dubai on the 26th of October. And this is taking place in the iconic location of Dubai Islands. Now look guys, this is just not another race. It is a culmination of years of hard work by the team. And Arabian Warriors, guys, is born in the Middle East with strong Middle Eastern values, and their goal is pretty simple, guys. They want to make Arabian Warrior the world's premier OCR event. Now whether you're a seasoned athlete or just looking for a challenge, they got everything covered for you. And they have different raid formats as well. You have 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers, and the big one, that is 50-kilometer event. And there will be a number of unique, challenging and different obstacles throughout the course. And that's not all, guys. There are events lined up in Qatar as well. Now here's a sweet bonus, guys. Use the code SIGNUP for a 10% discount on your registration. So don't miss this chance to take on a brand new course with some of the toughest obstacles you've ever seen. So do one thing, guys, head over to arabianwarriors.me and sign up for the event. And you can also score a 10% discount code by using the code SIGNUP10. Once again, guys, the website is arabianwarriors.me, and the link to that is in the show notes below. And I'll see you on the race course. Next. Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform, check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below.
Now guys, since you're taking care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now the global cryptocurrency market now, guys, is at $2.24 trillion. And since the last 24 hours, guys, it is marginally up by 2.14%. Now, if you look at the total cryptocurrency market volume, it is at $57.47 billion. Now, before the CPI numbers are out, guys, the total cryptocurrency market was around the $2.17 trillion mark, isn't it? But because the Biden inflation numbers are down, looks like it is having a positive impact so far as the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is concerned. Now, so far as the total cryptocurrency market volume is concerned, it is definitely looking good at $57.47 billion. Now, you also need to understand, guys, that I'm looking at these numbers in the early hours of Dubai, and technically it is still Sunday in most of the Western countries. So keeping that thing in mind, guys, I'm definitely liking that the total cryptocurrency market volume is around the $57 billion mark, and I'm pretty much sure the next coming weeks and days, this number would be around the $60 to $80 billion mark. And if you look at the volume, guys, since the last 24 hours, it is up by 26.30%. Now, unfortunately, guys, one matrix which is not having absolutely any impact, that is to do with decentralized finance. And today it is only at $3.49 billion. And decentralized finance, guys, as of today, is accounting for 6.07% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume, and the total value locked across all DeFi protocols is only at $81.21 billion. Now, so far as the dominance of total value locked is concerned, Lido is still dominating with $23.95 billion. Now, if you look at decentralized exchange dominance, it is at 21.96%. I'd really like to see this number slightly higher, to be honest. But nonetheless, guys, for a weekend, this number is definitely great, isn't it? Now, I'm really liking the volume of decentralized exchanges because the first and second have both crossed the $1 billion mark. Uniswap is at number 1. Its market cap is $1.54 billion, whereas PancakeSwap is at $1.04 billion. Radium, guys, is at number 3rd. Its volume is $536.38 million. Aerodrome is at number 4th. Its volume is slightly short of a $500 million mark at $479.30 million. Orca is at number 3rd. Its volume is $321.26 million. Now let me quickly run to the volume of stable coins. It is at $51.29 billion, and stable coins as of today is accounting for only 89.25% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. And out of this $51.29 billion, guys, Tether USDT is accounting for a majority of the chunk at $44.73 billion. Circle USDC is at number 2nd, and its volume is $3.57 billion. FDUSD is at number 3rd. Its volume is $3.07 billion. Now look, guys, I wouldn't be surprised, let's say on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, these numbers will be pumping up by at least 10 to 15%, and that would give us a very good indication that the prices will be pumping up in the next coming weeks and days as well, isn't it? Now, there are two reasons why, guys, I do feel that the prices will be heading up in a positive direction. The first one is the CPI numbers are out, and the second one, guys, is regarding the Mt.GOX repayment plan, isn't it? So I'll definitely go ahead and touch base on that. But before that, guys, what I want to do is I want to run through the market cap of decentralized apps that are working only on Binance BNB Smart Chain, because there is a really interesting report, guys, that does actually state that Binance BNB Chain's activity has dropped by 37% in just the last week, and this is raising a lot of concern regarding Binance BNB's price stability as well. Now, if you look at the volume of decentralized apps that are working on Binance BNB Chain, guys, it has actually gone down by 25% since the last 7 days. Now, if you look at the top 5 decentralized apps, guys, PancakeSwap version 2 is at number 1. And if you look at its market cap, it is only at $264.1 million. The second one, guys, is PancakeSwap version 3, and its market cap is $115.36 million. Venus Protocol, guys, is at number 3rd. Its market cap is only at $50.61 million. MoveStake is at number 4th. Its market cap is $26.49 million. And the number 5th, guys, is Trade Signal. Its market cap is at $21.68 million. Now look, guys, when you talk about decentralized apps, we are literally talking about apps, let's say, like Facebook Messenger, PayPal, Instagram to be working on blockchain protocols, isn't it? Now, to be honest, guys, I don't know of anyone who's using decentralized apps on a daily basis. I'm not talking about decentralized finance. I'm literally talking about apps that are working on blockchain protocol. Now, I know some people are using gaming apps, and most of them are working on Telegram. But if you're one of them who's using a decentralized app that is working on blockchain protocol, not necessarily, let's say, in Binance BNB chain, maybe even an Ethereum or Solana blockchain, mention them in the comments below, because I definitely want to learn about your user experience. Because look, guys, when you talk about decentralized app working on blockchain protocol, who does the customer service? Is it the community? Is it the foundation? Or is it the association? That is a massive question mark, isn't it? Now regarding Binance BNB chain, guys, the token that is connected to Binance BNB chain, that is BNB, has definitely seen a drop in network activity and fees, and this is in comparison, let's say, to Ethereum or Solana blockchain. Now so far as Binance's launchpad is concerned, guys, recent token launches have also faced criticism, and this is definitely adding pressures to Binance BNB's outlook, isn't it? Now the big question, guys, is how sustainable is Binance launchpad? And according to Arthur Hayes, who's a co-founder and former chief executive officer of BitMEX, he's actually stated that token issuers are reportedly required to buy and hold $5 million worth of Binance BNB coin and give away up to 16% of the token supply. So it's going to be really curious to check, guys, with heavy regulations going after Binance BNB chain. Will the smart chain suffer? And could it be possible that Solana overtakes Binance BNB chain? Because right now CZ is not in the picture as well, isn't it? So it's going to be really interesting to see what the future of Binance BNB chain is. Now look, guys, going back to 2021 and 2022, Binance's stablecoin, that is BUSD, that was heavily competing with Circle USDC as well. But because of regulations, guys, they had decided to go and shut down the operation as well, isn't it? That just shows you the power of government going after any protocols, be it in the centralized world or even in the so-called decentralized world, in my opinion. Now, guys, let's go and look at the king of all kings, that is Bitcoin. Now, the price of Bitcoin, guys, is definitely looking good, and it is at $64,101. And since the last 24 hours, it is down by 2.06%. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 2.06%. And since the last 7 days, it is up by 1.01%. Ethereum, guys, is at $2,541. And since the last 24 hours, it is up by 3.20%. And since the last 7 days, it is up by 7.19%. Binance BNB coin, guys, is at $581. And we just took a look at the decentralized apps that are working on Binance BNB chain. And we also discussed some drama regarding the launchpad as well, isn't it? Now, so far as the price is concerned, guys, since the last 24 hours, it is up by 1.12%. And since the last 7 days, it is up by 1.45%. Now, look, since the 10th of October, there are two news that did actually take place, which I do think is beneficial for the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. The first one is the CPI numbers, or the inflation numbers. Now, what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, the only website to look at the inflation is the Bureau of Labor Statistics website, and the website is www.bls.gov, and that report does actually state that the inflation has marginally gone down to 2.4%, but the consumer price index for all urban consumers increased 0.2% on a seasonally adjusted basis, the same increase as in August and July. And the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported, guys, that over the last 12 months, all the items increased 2.4% before seasonal adjustment. Last time, guys, when the CPI numbers are out, the Biden inflation or inflation number was at 2.5%, isn't it? Looks like it has marginally gone down to 2.4%. Now, look, guys, you can make an argument if there is notorious activity or if there is heavy manipulation going on regarding these numbers, because there is US elections coming up, isn't it? And knowing the notorious history of the Democrats, I'm pretty much sure they would have heavily manipulated these numbers. Now, apart from the inflation number, guys, one reason why I do think that the prices of Bitcoin is pumping up, that is to do with Mt. GOX repayment plan. Now, originally, guys, the repayment plan was supposed to be starting out from the 31st of October, but Mt. GOX, guys, has decided to postpone its repayment deadline to creditors by 1 year, moving it to 31st of October 2025. And this delay, guys, will definitely ease concerns about potential selling pressures on Bitcoin, isn't it? Because just few months ago, when Germany decided to dump a lot of the Bitcoin, the prices did tend to go down, isn't it? And so far as this decision by Mt. GOX is concerned, it just means that there will be less supply of Bitcoin in the market, isn't it? And a large influx of Bitcoin from creditors' repayment plan won't happen in the near term. And analysts at Coinbase do actually believe that this extension could actually reduce fears of significant Bitcoin supply increase, which would have definitely impacted the prices negatively, isn't it? Now, what I'd really recommend you to do is, guys, in the show notes below, there is an official information by the lawyers of Mt. GOX Exchange that makes an official statement regarding the repayment plan. Now, it's also important to note, guys, that the crypto wallets linked to the defunct exchange, that is Mt. GOX, still hold $2.8 billion worth of Bitcoin, and this is after they distributed roughly around $6 billion worth of assets to creditors earlier this year. So it's basics of demand and supply, isn't it? Less supply will definitely be increasing the demand. It's a really interesting choice of making the decision to delay the repayment plan, in my opinion. Now what I want to do is, guys, I want to go ahead and discuss two reports. The first one is regarding the US share of world economy. The US share of global economy has fallen below 15%. And this is under Joe Biden's administration. And the second one is regarding the BRICS nations, as they have decided to cut the transactions in dollar as well as in euro, and the transactions now are well below 30%. Now what I want to do is, guys, after I go ahead and discuss both of these reports, I want to go ahead and share my thoughts and opinion as to what role can Bitcoin play into this. Now look, guys, regarding the US share of world economy, this is absolutely dreadful for United States of America, isn't it? And it is only the Biden administration that needs to be blamed for this. And because of the left-leaning regime, guys, the US share of global economy has fallen below 15%, and this is under Joe Biden's administration. And there is a really interesting analysis done by Sputnik, and all this data, guys, is based on World Bank and IMF data. Now it's really important to note, guys, that the United States of America at one point of time held over 21% of the global economy in 1999, but this share steadily declined in the recent decades, and China is now commanding a larger portion at 18.76%. So let me do one thing, guys. Let me go ahead and give out more information regarding this, because this is a significant drop from its peak of over 21% in 1999. And back then, guys, the US held a commanding presence, contributing to $9.6 trillion to global economy out of the total $45.85 trillion. And if you look at it from a percentage point of view, it was accounting for 21.01%. Now the decline, guys, has persisted across multiple administrations, and it definitely underscores a broader shift in global economic power, isn't it? And one key factor, as I mentioned earlier, is the rise of China, as China as of today commands a staggering 18.76% of the global economy, overtaking the US as the world's largest economy by purchasing power parity, also called as PPP. And China's rapid industrialization, growing consumer market, and strategic investment in technology and infrastructure have allowed it to expand its global influence, isn't it? Now this contrasts with the United States of America, where slower growth, trade imbalances, and the aftermath of financial crisis have contributed to the decline. Now look, as with US elections coming up, I'm pretty much sure the only saving grace for the United States of America is President Donald Trump, isn't it? So it's going to be really interesting to see what the outcome to the election is. Now what the report also states, guys, that the US share of global economy started to shrink during George W. Bush administration, with a notable drop between 2006 and 2008, when the US share declined by 0.6% annually. And under the Biden administration, guys, the US global economy shares continued to shrink, reaching to a low of 14.82% in 2023, and there are projections suggesting it could dip further to 14.76% by the end of his presidency. Now this decrease, guys, although gradual, definitely signals a broader trend to US losing its dominance in global economic affairs, isn't it? Now the report also talks about the shift reflecting changing dynamics, with emerging economies like China and India growing rapidly while the United States of America is facing internal challenges, including economic inequality, political polarization, and slow innovation. So it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, what the future of United States of America is. The only hope I can think of is President Donald Trump, guys. And the diminishing US share also underscores a shift in global trade patterns, where the United States of America is no longer the primary engine of growth for any countries. Instead, trade alliances are expanding across Asia, Africa, and Latin America, and this is driven in part by China's Belt and Road Initiative and other regional trade agreements. Now look, as the US's waning economic influence could have implications for its geopolitical power, as its ability to dictate global financial policies weakens with the shrinking share of the global economy, isn't it? So it's going to be really interesting to see, guys, in the next 5 years, what is the future of United States of America. Now what I want to do is, guys, I also want to go ahead and touch base on another news that is connected to BRICS. And the BRICS nations, guys, originally comprising of Brazil, Russia, India, and China, have now expanded to include South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, United Arab Emirates, and Saudi Arabia as well. And these nations, guys, are actively reducing the dependence of US dollar and the euro, with national currencies now making up 65% of the intra-BRICS transactions. And this shift, guys, have accelerated geopolitical tensions, sanctions, and a desire to reduce reliance on Western financial systems. And according to Russian Finance Minister Anton Shulanov, the share of dollar and euro transactions with BRICS have fallen below 30%, marking a significant strategic pivot towards local currencies. And this reduction in dollar and euro usage is part of a broader effort by BRICS nations to strengthen the economic sovereignty and create a more multipolar global financial system. And for years, guys, BRICS nation countries have sought ways to challenge the dominance of Western financial institutions and reduce their vulnerabilities to sanctions, with often hinge on US control over global banking systems, isn't it? And the adoption of national currencies for trade and financial settlements enables these nations to avoid US dollar, thereby weakening its status as a world primary reserve currency. Now, Russia in particular spearheaded this movement, especially in light of sanctions imposed after the invasion of Ukraine, and these sanctions cut off many Russian financial institutions from the global SWIFT network, which is a key system for international transactions. And by promoting the use of national currencies within BRICS, Russia and its partners are seeking to build an alternative financial infrastructure that bypasses Western control systems. Now, so far as China is concerned, guys, China, as the largest economy in BRICS, has also played a central role in this shift, and the Chinese yuan has seen increasing adoption for trade within the BRICS nations. And China has been promoting the use of currency in various bilateral and multilateral agreements, as well as India as well. And India, guys, has been pushing for the use of rupee in international trade, particularly with Russia, as both countries seek alternative to US dollar amidst Western sanctions. Now, the shift from US dollar, guys, is not just about trade, it also has implications for global financial market and monetary policy. And as BRICS nations increasingly use their own currencies, the demand for US dollar in global trade and foreign exchange reserves could actually decrease, potentially leading to a weak dollar. This in turn, guys, could affect the US's ability to finance its debt and maintain its influence over the global financial institutions like the IMF and World Bank. Now look, guys, we are seeing so much of geopolitical chaos, and whether we like it or not, guys, the United States of America is directly and indirectly behind it, isn't it? Now, could it be possible that these so-called proxy wars are done by United States of America to go ahead and kind of break the dominance of BRICS? This is what I absolutely think, isn't it? Now, so far as BRICS is concerned, guys, BRICS countries are exploring the creation of joint payment systems, which would further reduce the need for Western-controlled payment networks like SWIFT, and this could lead to the development of BRICS digital currency or a settlement based on blockchain technology, further diminishing the role of US dollar and euro in the global transactions. So essentially, guys, in summary, so far as the BRICS report is concerned, the BRICS nations' move to reduce their reliance on US dollar and euro is definitely a significant development in the ongoing shift towards a multipolar world order. And by increasing the use of national currencies, these countries are asserting their economic independence and challenging the dominance of Western financial system. And this trend could have far-reaching implications for global trade, finance, and geopolitical power dynamics in the coming years. Now, what I want to do is, guys, I want to go ahead and discuss how Bitcoin can potentially play a role in the future for United States of America as well as other countries. Because look, guys, with so much of geopolitical chaos going on right now, Bitcoin could emerge as a key player in shifting global economic landscape, not just for United States of America, but for other countries including the BRICS nations as well. So what I want to do is, guys, I want to go ahead and touch base on 4 areas. That is Bitcoin as an alternative to traditional currencies, Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, Bitcoin's role in financial innovation and inclusion, and finally, guys, Bitcoin as a global reserve asset. Now, regarding alternative to traditional currencies, guys, as BRICS nations move away from US dollar and euro, Bitcoin and probably other cryptocurrencies could become a viable alternative for cross-border payments, isn't it? And because of its distributed or decentralized nature, that offers a way to bypass reliance on a single country's currency, including the US dollar, I do feel that Bitcoin could actually play an alternative to traditional currencies. Imagine, guys, if the BRICS nations do actually go ahead and make an announcement that all the transactions are done only in Bitcoin. That would be an absolute game changer as well, isn't it? Or, guys, imagine if the BRICS nations, they actually team up with XRP or Ripple. That would be a brilliant move and a game changer as well, in my opinion. So if you're someone from Ripple, guys, you probably may want to collaborate with the BRICS nations. Now, regarding hedge against inflations, I do feel for countries experiencing economic decline or currency devaluation, including United States as its global share is shrinking, Bitcoin could actually serve as a hedge against inflation as well as store of value as well, thereby attracting investors looking to protect wealth from fiat currency risks. Now, regarding the next point, that is financial innovation and inclusion, guys, I do feel in regions where national currencies are gaining prominence, Bitcoin's blockchain technology could facilitate more transparent, secure and efficient transactions, and it could actually promote financial inclusion, especially in countries with limited access to traditional banking system, isn't it? Now, so far as these BRICS nations are concerned, guys, let's say countries like Iran, as well as Russia, which has a lot of sanctions, I do feel that Bitcoin could be a game changer for them, isn't it? And what about global reserve asset, guys? I do feel that with countries like United States of America experiencing reduced dominance in the global economy, Bitcoin could eventually be seen as a neutral, non-sovereign global reserve asset, further diversifying international reserves away from traditional fiat currencies like the US dollar and euro. Now look guys, I do feel of one of the top G8 countries, that are United States of America, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, Russia, and the United Kingdom, if one of these countries do actually make an official announcement that they're buying a lot of Bitcoin and putting it as a global reserve, I'm pretty much sure a lot of the other countries will blindly copy it, isn't it? It would not make any sense, guys, if an underdeveloped country goes ahead and buys Bitcoin and puts it as a global reserve. It does not create a lot of headlines in my opinion. So let me know, guys, what are your thoughts regarding this? I do feel if one of the G8 countries do make an announcement that they are buying Bitcoin and putting at a global reserve, that'll definitely have a ripple or domino effect on other countries, and I wouldn't be surprised if other countries will tend to do that as well. And if that thing happens, guys, imagine the price of Bitcoin that'll reach a completely crazy new highs, isn't it? But it's definitely positive right now. Now guys, let's go and touch base some really interesting matrix that has to do with Dogecoin. A new data that is published on Sentiment is actually stating that there is a spike in active addresses on the Dogecoin network, and they have reached the highest level in almost 8 months. Now this surge in network activity is seen as a positive sign, and could this potentially drive the prices in an upward direction? Only time will tell, I guess, isn't it? Because look guys, when there are active addresses, it just means that there is a lot of activity going on, isn't it? And if there is a lot of activity going on, it definitely means that the token will be transferred from one person to another. So I'm pretty much sure traders are watching closely to see if there's any increase in active addresses, and if there's some announcement or collaboration done by Dogecoin, I'm pretty much sure it'll be positive for the price of Dogecoin, isn't it? But look guys, all of my price predictions are 100% right 50% of the time, and everything that I've said earlier is definitely not financial advice. Make sure you go and do your own research. So these were some macro level news, guys, from the cryptocurrency and blockchain world. Now let's look at two news from Dubai, UAE, and the Middle East. Now the first one, guys, is definitely positive one. And OKX, they have launched a licensed crypto exchange in UAE. So let me go ahead and give out more information regarding this, because OKX Middle East, guys, they have officially launched its Vara licensed crypto exchange in Dubai, and the company is the first global crypto player in the UAE to offer the dirham banking rates for both retail and institutional customers. And OKX Middle East FinTech Free Zone establishment is a local entity facilitating these services in UAE, and the launch of the event, that is titled A New Alternative for Dubai, was actually held at the Museum of Future, and featured speakers included OKX founder and CEO Shtar Zhu, Manchester City manager Anthony Sakamosi of Skybridge Capital, and blockchain leaders like Sandeep Naiwal, as well as Munib Ali from Stacks. And at the session, guys, there was a discussion that was focused on blockchain innovation and future business application as well. And OKX, guys, they do envision blockchain technology evolving into a new application economy for a safer, as well as a more transparent internet. Now the UAE was chosen for the launch due to its growing status as a global hub for virtual assets and its progressive regulatory environment. And OKX's Middle East Vara license, guys, enables them now to provide a full range of crypto trading services in compliance with local and global standards. And the platform also offers service for retail, qualified and institutional investors in the UAE. And the platform supports spot trading, convert, express buy and sell, and on-chain earn products with over 280 cryptocurrencies and 480 trading pairs. And the launch, guys, features the RAM trading pairs for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDT as well. And qualified investors can access OKX's derivative trading products, and customers now, guys, can deposit and withdraw the RAM seamlessly through UAE local bank accounts. And OKX has also tailored its platform to UAE market, providing advanced trading tools and the platform and customer service. Now what's really important to note, guys, that the platform and customer service is now available in Arabic to cater to local users, and OKX's aim is to invest further in UAE market and engage with local community. Now it's really important to note, guys, that virtual assets are highly volatile and involve significant risk. And regarding this news, OKX Middle East is licensed by Vara, but They warn users about the risk involved in virtual asset trading, but definitely positive news, isn't it? Now guys, let's go and discuss another news, and this is to do with artificial intelligence. And this news, guys, is actually published by the Emirates News Agency, which is the official government channel, and the website is www.wem.ae. And this news, guys, is about Global Trade and Supply Chain Summit, and the 4th Global Trade and Supply Chain Summit did actually take place on the 9th of October, and the event was organized by Economist Impact in collaboration with the New Economy Academy, and day 2, guys, featured discussion in financial sustainable trading and leveraging artificial intelligence and smart robotics for delivery networks. And the opening panel was titled Managing What You Can't See, and it was focused on how digital tools like artificial intelligence and blockchain can help small medium establishments reduce Scope 3 emissions. And speakers, guys, emphasize the transformative potential of generative AI and blockchain for tracking environmental footprints. And a fireside chat, which was called as Unlocking the Power of Data and Digital Economy, discussed data use for supply chain management and meeting data localization and privacy standards. And there was also a panel, guys, called as Financing a Sustainable Trade Future that explored eco-friendly materials, green trade finance, and the role of lenders in supporting sustainable trade. And experts also talked about increased demand for environmentally responsible trade finance solutions. And there was a session called as the AI in Action that highlighted how artificial intelligence, automation, and robotics are optimizing logistics for greater efficiency and agility. And another session called as Reskilling Supply Chain Workforce in the Age of AI examined how companies can upgrade to workforce skills to adapt to AI-driven environments. And a final panel session on powering up trade through tech innovation discussed the role of blockchain to IoT in enhancing global trade and supply chain reliability. And the event showcased the role of advanced technologies in transforming global trade operations. And there were discussions in AI's role in building resilient supply chains, and that was actually central to the summit as well. And the summit, guys, brought together experts to address challenges and opportunities in sustainable trade and supply chain efficiency. And speakers actually stressed the importance of integrating innovative technologies to improve global trade frameworks. And the summit concluded with a forward focus on artificial intelligence, continuing impact on global trade and logistics. Now what I want to do is, guys, I want to go ahead and share some points where I do feel blockchain technology could be an ideal fit, and I want to touch base on transparency and traceability, smart contracts and documentation, efficiency boost, fraud prevention, supply chain financing, as well as sustainable tracking. So when we talk about enhanced transparency and traceability, I do want to highlight that blockchain provides a distributed immutable ledger that allows every participant in the supply chain to track the movement of goods in real time. And this, guys, definitely helps improve transparency, ensuring that all stakeholders, from let's say manufacturers to end consumers, can go ahead and verify the authenticity of origin of products, thereby reducing frauds and counterfeiting, isn't it? And so far streamlined documentation and contracts is concerned, smart contracts on blockchain technology, guys, can actually automate and enforce trade agreements, and this can be done without the need for intermediaries, thereby reducing paperwork and administrative cost. And by digitizing trade documents such as, let's say, bills of lading, invoices, and certificates of origins, blockchain technology can accelerate processing times, thereby reducing errors and low compliance risk. And regarding improved supply chain efficiency, guys, blockchain technology, as we know, enables seamless data sharing across all stakeholders in the supply chain, isn't it? And this is including suppliers, logistics, providers, and retailers as well. And this real-time shared across data can actually improve coordination, reduce delays, and allow for more efficient management of inventory and transportation, ultimately optimizing the chain of supply flow. And regarding fraud prevention and risk management, guys, blockchain's immutable ledger will definitely help prevent fraud and ensure the authenticity of goods by securely recording every transactions. And it can also help companies verify supplier credentials, enforce anti-corruption measures, and track goods compliance with regulations, thereby helping mitigate risk associated with global trade, isn't it? And so far supply chain financing is concerned, guys, blockchain technology can streamline supply chain financing by providing real-time data on the status of goods, thereby allowing financial institutions to assess credit risk more accurately. And this could actually lead to faster and more secure trade finance solutions, such as, let's say, invoice factoring, reducing the financial gap for small and medium-sized enterprises. And so far sustainability and ethical sourcing is concerned, guys, blockchain technology can track and verify sustainable and ethical practices within the supply chain, and companies can use blockchain to prove the products comply with environmental standards, track Scope 3 emissions,
and ensure that raw materials are sourced ethically, thereby contributing to corporate social responsibility goals and meeting growing consumer demands for sustainability. So let me know, guys, what are your thoughts regarding this? If you do have any additional points where blockchain technology can merge with global trade and supply chain operations, mention them in the comments below. So these were the newscasts on the cryptocurrency, blockchain and artificial intelligence world from Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes is going to be an Ask Me Anything series where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's kick start with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Rahman who asks, do you think Bitcoin price will surge following the Mt.GOX delay? Definitely yes, Rahman, because look, the answer is pretty simple. Mt.GOX was going to go ahead and distribute a lot of the Bitcoin to the original people, isn't it? And because they have made a decision to go ahead and delay it by roughly a year, it just means one thing, that there will be less supply in Bitcoin in the market. And we know what happened when Germany tried to dump a lot of the Bitcoin, isn't it? The prices of Bitcoin did actually collapse, and it did actually go below the $50,000 mark as well. So the answer to this is pretty simple, Ramon, to be honest. I do feel that the prices will actually bump up because Mt.GOX had decided to go ahead and delay the decision. Now really I'm not sure why they went ahead and made the decision. Could it be possible that they were forced by, let's say, BlackRock or some of the top entities? Definitely a possibility, isn't it? Because look, what would happen is once they go ahead and distribute a lot of the Bitcoin, a lot of the people who actually got the Bitcoin, they could actually go and dump it into centralized exchanges. So keeping that thing in mind, I do feel that the prices would have definitely fallen down, and it is probably a great decision for them to go and decide to delay it. Now with US elections coming up, Rahman, I really am curious to check how the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies will be reacting. And yesterday I was actually listening to an episode by Anthony Pompliano where he was actually questioning a lot of the information regarding the job reports as well. I would really recommend you guys to go ahead and check it out, because there was apparently over 200,000 jobs that did actually get added in September, but there is no concrete evidence for that, and looks like the Biden regime or left-leaning administration, they are heavily trying to manipulate the numbers, isn't it? And regarding CPI numbers, I did actually state that in the month of March, there was roughly around 819,000 jobs added incorrectly, and these jobs will be removed in March of 2025. So look, I do feel, Ramon, that US elections will definitely be making a massive impact, and the US elections is just few days after the original date when Mt.GOX was supposed to go ahead and start the redistribution plan, isn't it? So keeping all this thing in mind, I do think it's probably a right move for them to go ahead and delay the decision, but definitely a great question. And that's about all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating and share the word across. Remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. we have Crypto with Coffee podcast, where we cover top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE and the Middle East, from the cryptocurrency, blockchain and now artificial intelligence world as well. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where your listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.